Hi, this is Amy Lewis. This is Engineers Unplugged. Hi, I'm Amy Lewis. Welcome back to another episode of Engineers Unplugged. I'm here with Tony and Craig, and we're going to be talking about SAP HANA. So I've got some questions. Tony, take it away.
Alrighty. So, Craig, I'm the product manager. I know SAP HANA is an in-memory database, but that's basically where my knowledge stops. So explain a bit more. How does this benefit a customer? What can they do with it? What does it do for them?
Sure. So one of the first questions that we always get from customers is, well, it's an in-memory database. Why do I need storage?
Yeah.
And the easy answer is that it is in memory. And what happens is if I turn off this CPU, if I turn off this computing platform, what happens is that memory disappears.
Yeah.
And so we need a storage infrastructure underneath to preserve the data. And that's where Cisco and NetApp have partnered.
Oh.
We work with the UCS architecture, and we include the FAS storage environment to act as persistent storage. So while this is processing, every 30 seconds to 5 minutes, what it does is it writes a copy of that data that's in memory down to storage. Now, in terms of customers, what we've seen over the years, we hear this phrase, the Internet of Things. And that's really what has happened. Over the last 15, 20 years, data has just exploded. And as a result, the processing and the time that it takes in order to process that huge volume of data has taken much, much longer.
Yeah.
So SAP started out with a product called the BW Accelerator, which was a sidecar, similar to HANA. But over the last 3 to 4 years, what they did is they've taken HANA, and it's not just a database, it's actually an analytic engine as well.
So explain analytics engine to me.
So what happens is that there's a lot of processing that needs to happen in order to analyze the data to be able to turn it into something that's useful for customers.
Yeah.
BW Accelerator, what that did is it gave you a little bit of extra speed, did some pre-processing on that data, but the analytics still really happened in the SAP Business Warehouse application. With HANA, they've brought the database and the analytics engine together. Now it's a full-blown in-memory database, great compression because they use a columnar style to store the data, but you also get that high speed of having the data located directly next to the CPU and the memory.
So this is the kind of thing like a big retailer could use to do that analysis of what are people actually buying and when do they buy it? Absolutely,
that's a great point. We have a lot of customers that we have seen, especially in the retail space. Imagine every point of sale activity that happens, every purchase you make, volumes and volumes of data, multiple terabytes of data coming in from all over the world. They also have huge supply chains, so these international, multinational corporations have supply chains that stretch out over the globe, and being able to identify certain points in that supply chain that they can optimize, whether it's for delivery or price or taxes. One of the other interesting areas, in talking to the SAP HANA product manager, one of the other areas that they've really started looking into is actual human capital, human resources.
Okay.
How do we optimize human resources, whether it's for deliveries or sales or any of those sorts of things?
Okay, yeah, I've heard about that stuff. That's where they do the thing with the trucks, where they make sure that they always do left-hand or right-hand turns, depending on which country you're in.
Exactly, optimizing routes for the greatest delivery performance. But the amazing thing with HANA, because it's in memory, it's automatic. It's right there. It's real time. So in a traditional data warehouse environment, we're extracting data from many different sources. Whereas with HANA, and it does that analysis over a period of time. So what you're seeing might be 24 hours old. Now, there's another customer, joint customer of Cisco and NetApp. You might recognize the name. They're called eBay.
I've heard of them, yes.
So they actually use SAP HANA to identify sales opportunities within their environment. So if you can think of the millions and millions of things that are sold on eBay every single day, being able to find patterns and be able to provide those patterns and give information back not only to the business, but to the end users.
Yeah. So let's talk a little bit about the storage on the end of this. I'm assuming that you must have some serious performance here because the numbers I tend to hear about SAP HANA and databases are always terabytes. So you've got a in-memory database. It's going to take some time to load.
So that is one of the one of the challenges that we have, SAP is very specific about what they call their key performance indicators. In order for our products, both Cisco servers and NetApp storage, to be certified, we have to go through a pretty strict certification process with SAP to guarantee that we get the performance that we need, not only for the initial load of data into memory, but also for the logs and data coming down into the storage on that regular persistent basis. So we go through quite a rigid process with SAP. We work closely with Cisco as well in order to design these for the highest possible performance.
Good. So what else is interesting about SAP HANA and the way they do this in-memory database? I presume that this would tie into the Internet of Things and that area as well, because there must be a lot of data. Say, I work in oil and gas. I work with oil and gas companies because I'm from Houston, and the kind of data that you must see pouring off a rig, and the vibration sensors and all the sensors on that rig. Is that kind of the area you could use for SAP HANA as well? Absolutely.
So any application that you can run in SAP and perform analytics on is something that suits itself very well to SAP HANA. HANA started out as analytics, but now in the last year, SAP has released their business suite also on SAP HANA. So your traditional ERP, CRM, supply chain management.
Yep.
Say, for example, there's a process within the ERP application which is called material resource planning. When I was managing basis environments, SAP production environments, that MRP process would take hours. It would run overnight, maybe once or twice a week, because it was so lengthy and so time-consuming and so resource-intensive. As a result, with SAP HANA, with the database being in memory and all of that data being easily accessible and a very, very low latency, you're able to then run your material resource planning more often to be more efficient to help that supply chain.
Okay. So you can dramatically improve the way the business actually operates.
And that's the key. It's not about technology.
Yeah.
It's about how we make business benefits out of technology.
Cool. All right.
Okay, well, that certainly sounds like unicorns to me. So good news, it's unicorn time. It's time for the Unicorn Challenge. With all this talk about in-memory database, I think it's time to draw an in-memory unicorn. I don't know what that means, but I look forward to finding out. So go, let's see your best unicorn.
So I get to draw a unicorn in-memory unicorn.
Go.
And you realize you are talking to the world's worst artist here.
Yes.
See, this is the horn. I'm just telling everybody so they know.
This is like Pictionary gone wrong.
Would you care to guess what it is? A sheep? No. Yeah. Oh, I give up. Right.
I like it. I see the memory bubble.
Memory bubble, unicorn.
Well done.
You could see what I was going for.
Yeah, this is great information for folks who are just kind of getting started and thinking about SAP HANA. That was really great. So thanks, Craig.
Absolutely. Thanks,
Tony.
No problem.
And we'll see you next time on Engineers Unplugged.